This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Via Zoom, I'm joined by Sugar Hill, Cronk's very finest, obviously head coach of Tyson Fury. How you doing, Sugar?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm holding up good, thanks, Sugar. You know, the last big event we had before the world shut down, of course, you were holding it heavily with Wilder Fury 2 in it. It was a tough fight, man. How do you look back on it now?
You said, how's it been since then?
No, how do you look back on that night since now?
Oh, that night, it was a terrific night. It meant a lot to me, the night because of what Emmanuel meant to me. So that night was it was an incredible night, being on that stage, the heavyweights. The same thing Emmanuel would have been doing. For me being there and experiencing it and living it, just thinking about him.
Absolutely. Sugar, it was a pretty much faultless performance from Tyson Fury. That's what fans thought anyways. What's the one thing that impressed you most about Tyson's performance, if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, I would say overall. But yeah, his ability to, everything was working. So it's really not one thing that I could say that really impressed me. He listened in the corner, when it was time to listen. He was, he had power. His footwork was there. Head movement. Everything was firing on all cylinders. It's not one particular thing because he did everything just where it was planned to do.
Have you spoken to him during this lockdown much, Sugar?
Yeah, we talk maybe about once a week, once a week or maybe once every other week. So yeah, he's been doing okay, taking care of himself, being with the family, as well as me. And I guess the last conference says can't wait to get back training again.
Definitely. Have you discussed much about the next Wilder fight, the Anthony Joshua fight, or have you just been chatting normally, Sugar?
Just chatting normally. Probably if anything we chatted about the fight was, all the excuses going around from, everybody. And I say that not to say Wilder's excuses, but I guess everybody else is making excuses for him, with these different things. So we just talked about that, kind of laughed about it, that's about it. But nothing major about, the rematch and what the plan would be and things like that. We just had regular casual conversation. We got other things. We do other things besides boxing.
Talking about excuses, the world was puzzled when Deontay Wilder said that, his costume was to blame for the loss, etc. He didn't really seem to give Tyson the credit. Now, we haven't spoke to you since the fight itself, really, apart from on the night. So I'm going to ask you, what do you make of Deontay's comments when you first heard them, Sugar?
The same as anybody. I don't even address those comments. I'm not, I guess per se in public, I'm not so much, talking about those kind of things. But amongst family and friends, we laugh and talk about it or discuss these things. But normally I just say it's professional. I out of everything, I do have to understand that, if he feels something was wrong, then he has the right to address that, because I'm not him. I'm not in his camp or anything like that. So I wouldn't know if anything was wrong. But really, I do believe that, most of the time when any professional athlete in any sport is participating at that high level, they have some kind of injury. Just because you're training hard and you're putting your body through these enduring workouts that's going to cause an injury. So whatever his, whatever he feels that may have been a mistake, that's okay. People make mistakes in life, period. So you can only look at the mistakes and know what the mistake is and correct it. So if he's feeling that was a mistake, then he can go in there and correct that for the next time. That's fair, yeah.
As I said earlier, Tyson's performance on the night was practically faultless. However, going into this third Wilder fight, which looks to be set to happen in November, December time, is there anything that you saw that you can still improve going into that third fight?
Well, there's a lot that Tyson can improve on. Me and Tyson only had 8 weeks, 8 weeks until the fight to work and train together. And a lot of criticism was that it wasn't enough time for Tyson Fury to train with me and to understand what to do and everything like that. So that was just really, it was 8 weeks, but it was really only 4 weeks. Tyson Fury was ready in 4 weeks. The other 3 weeks, the 3.5 weeks that we had left were just doing it over again. Just do it again. Okay, not trying to put too much into him, but he learned fast. He was in shape, and those kind of things make training camps easier. But the next time that we train and get to work together, I mean, it'll be 8 more weeks. And I guess probably, really, I guess one of the things that we did speak about was Tyson says, once the travel clears, I'm gonna have you come over here for a month, and we're gonna train for a month. So he wants to train without even training for a fight, because and that'll, I mean, when he told me that, I was happy, and I was like, man, like, if we train without a fight coming up, you know how much I could teach you, how much you could learn, and how much more improvements you'll have in going into the next fight, not even training for that fight yet, but just practicing and getting better at something.
When you assess Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua compared to if there was in the ring to Tyson Fury, what's the tougher fight, Sugar?
I would say the tougher fight would be Anthony Joshua, just because Anthony Joshua, I mean, I guess he doesn't just depend on the right hand. So that would make it the more tougher fight to me, in my opinion. But the bronze bomber, he has that one punch. He says it takes 12 rounds. It only takes me 2 seconds. So it's hard to really actually say. Both of them are considered dangerous fights. Both of them are considered dangerous fights, and fighters that you have to look at, because look at their careers. Amateur and professional. These are the top 3 heavyweights in the world right now. Top major 3 heavyweights in the world, and you can't take anything from either one of them.
I think we are gearing towards that Fury Joshua fight. Hopefully Fury gets past Wilder and Joshua beats Pulev, and we can set up 2, maybe 3 massive fights next year with the pair of them. I spoke to Andy Lee a couple of weeks ago, your guy, Sugar, and he said that.
That's my brother.
I know, that's your guy. Andy was telling me that he believes Tyson will break Anthony Joshua physically and mentally. Can you see where he's coming from, Sugar, and do you agree with him?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tyson, mentally, he can mess with anybody. So we'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting. It'll be some things that we talk about going into a fight like that. And with a fighter, like Anthony Joshua, and Tyson can break anybody down pretty much. And if they're not broken down, he'll still find another way to break you down. That's just in his DNA. It's to find a way. It's just to find a way. Anything, every little thing helps if you know what you're doing.
He was so emphatic that night against Wilder, and when, as you said, Joshua's got a bit more versatility to him. He's more well-rounded. More imposing. He's a bigger man than Wilder. But do you feel like Tyson can do the same thing to Anthony Joshua, where he just completely dominates him from second one till the finish, whenever that is?
I definitely know that for a fact, that Tyson Fury can dominate any heavyweight in the division. His skills, his mental set, his boxing IQ, his determination. It's a lot in Tyson Fury that other fighters just don't have. That Tyson Fury has. To me, Tyson Fury is a complete package. Some fighters maybe have 2 things, and the other one may have 3, and the other one has maybe 4. So Tyson Fury has all. If it was 10, Tyson Fury's got all 10 of them.
Well, just before we round off this interview, Sugar, I do want to ask you about.
Hey, and that's even power, because they say he had no power, but now he's got power all of a sudden, huh?
Oh yeah, apparently Tyson Fury's never had power, although he was knocking out guys for fun when he was rising through the British ranks. Sugar, I want to end the interview with a topic I didn't think I'd be talking to anyone about during this lockdown, but it looks like Mike Tyson returning, Evander Holyfield. He's working with Vladimir Klitschko at the moment, Shannon Briggs, James Toney. just to name a few, are potentially coming back. What are your thoughts on all these legends making a return, Sugar?
Hey, let those guys have at it. It's sparking an interest in boxing. It's doing something for the sport. So, all those names mentioned were great fighters and are Hall of Fame fighters. There will be legends throughout history in boxing. So, let those guys go ahead and have some fun.
Sugar, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Hopefully see you across the pond sooner rather than later when everything's back to normal. And take care for the rest of lockdown, all right? Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I'll be coming over there for that training camp Tyson was talking about here.
You're going to come to Manchester, yeah?
Yeah, Morecambe.
Morecambe,
Bay. Yeah, Morecambe Bay. I don't have to be in Manchester. I'm going to Morecambe Bay. We're gonna swim the bay, get him in shape.
Thank you very much, Sugar. God bless you.
Listen, we're gonna swim the bay to get him in shape because he dips his hands in gasoline and kerosene. So that maybe that water can put out the fire.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sugar. Take care.
All righty, take it easy.